Hey, welcome to today's lesson. I am so glad you're here. Before we begin, do you have your notebook and your pencil? If you don't, pause this video, go get them. I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay, welcome back. Let's get started. Today's lesson is on converting units of measurement with multiplication. So we're going to apply the multiplication we've learned over these last number of days to converting units of measurement. Today's learning target is I can use the traditional multiplication to convert larger units of measurement to smaller units. So a larger unit might be something like, a foot. And a smaller unit might be the inch. Anytime we have a larger unit and we want to find out how many smaller units that is, we're going to multiply. In fact, everything we do in this lesson is going to involve multiplication. Every conversion we make is going to need you to multiply. Okay, let's get started. What if we started with distance? So here we have a unit of measurement that records distance, and that is a foot. And we're going to call the foot our larger unit because we want to find out today how many inches are in any number of feet. So to review, if you don't know how big a foot is, I have a ruler here. A ruler shows you generally 1 foot. This one does because it has 12 inches. So we can count those inches, can't we? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches, right? I actually have an inch here. This bar represents an inch. We could even move that along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 inches in a foot. Now, if we didn't know that, but we had this information, we could use multiplication to find how many inches are in a foot, right? So what we would do is we take our 1 foot and we could multiply it right here in our multiplication equation by 12 inches in a foot. And what is 1 times 12? Well, it's 12. Let's try another problem with a different number of feet, and maybe this will be more clear. What if we had, what if we had 2 feet? How many inches would that be? Well, I just happen to have 2 feet here. Look at that. I got another ruler. We could use multiplication to find out. We could do 2 feet times the 12 inches in each foot. And 2 times 12 is a multiplication fact that you might be learning in reflex. And if you know that fact, then you already know the answer. It's 24 inches. If you don't, we could use traditional multiplication. We could do 12 inches times the 2 feet that we need to, figure out. And we could multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. And the traditional method will tell us there's 24 inches. What if we had 4 feet? Check this out. I think I might have 4 feet here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see all 4 of them here? I got 1, 2, 3, 4 rulers. Well, we don't want to count all those inches in 4 rulers. That's too much. Let's use multiplication. All right. We're going to take the number of feet that we have. That's 4 feet. And we're going to multiply it by the 12 inches per foot. And 4 times 12 is another math fact. So if you know that fact, then you already know the answer. Thank you, Reflex Math. You'll know the answer is 48 inches in 4 feet. But if you don't know that fact, you can use traditional multiplication. You could do the 12 inches times 4 feet, right? And we would multiply 4 times 2 first to get 8, and then 4 times 1 next to get 4. Either way, you'd end up with 48 inches. Let's convert another type of unit of measurement. What if we went with a unit of measurement of weight? Could we use multiplication to convert units of weight? Well, in our example today, we're going to work with 1 pound. That's our larger unit. And here we have a 1 pound dumbbell. See where it says 1 pound on the end of that dumbbell? So this is a exercising dumbbell. And it's equal to, as you can see in the picture, 16 ounces. Each one of these fishing weights is 1 ounce. So 1 ounce weight. So 16 ounces makes 1 pound. I have that written in the table. 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Now, we could know that, but we could also use multiplication. right? So what if we did 1 pound times 16 ounces? Well, we know that 1 times 16 is 16, and there you go, 16 ounces. But what if we had 3 dumbbells? What if we had 3 pounds? And isn't that funny that the abbreviation for pound is LB? Isn't that interesting? I'd love for someone to do the research and find out why, but not now, after the lesson. Okay, so 3 pounds. What if we had 3 of these dumbbells? Well, I just might actually happen to have 3 of those dumbbells. I do. Look at that. 3 dumbbells. And each one is 16 ounces. You see how they each come with 16 ounces? That's what they're equivalent to. So we could use multiplication. 3 pounds times 16 ounces in each pound. Well, if you don't know what 3 times 16 is, here we go. Let's use traditional method multiplication. We're going to line up our place values. We're going to multiply 3 times 6 first and get 18 and carry the 1. And 3 times 1 next is 3 plus the 1 is 4, 48. So there's 48 ounces in 3 pounds. We could use traditional multiplication to find out even larger, to convert even larger numbers of pounds. What if, for example, what if we had, 5 pounds? Do you know how we'd use multiplication to convert pounds into ounces now? Right, we do the same thing. Let's use traditional multiplication because I don't think 5 times 16 is a math fact. So just to make sure we're correct, let's go 16 times 5. All right, so 5 times 6. Yep, 30. Carry the 3. And then 5 times 1. It's 5 plus the 3. That's 8. 80 ounces. So we just did 5 pounds times 16 ounces using multiplication to convert a larger unit like pounds to a smaller unit like ounces. And we got 80 ounces in 5 pounds. Let's do one more example, and this time you're going to help me. Here we have a unit of capacity. Capacity is how much something can hold. So 1 unit of capacity that we're going to call our larger unit today, that's the gallon. And here I have a picture of a gallon. It's a gallon jug of milk, but you could have water or anything else in it. And 1 gallon happens to equal 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts. Quarts are sort of those bigger glass canning jars that you see here. So 1 gallon is 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts. All right, so we have that. We could multiply 1 gallon times 4 quarts, and we would get 4 quarts, of course. Now, what if we had more than that, though? What if we had, what if we had 6 gallons? Could we use multiplication to convert to quarts? Well, quarts is a smaller unit than a gallon. It takes 4 of them to make 1 gallon. So we could multiply. Let's do that. Let's do, well, that's a math fact, isn't it? Yeah. 6 gallons times 4 quarts. 6 times 4. That's 24. 24 quarts. All right, let's try a couple now. You're going to do the next one, okay? And then we'll check back on the other side. What if we had 8 gallons? How many quarts would that be? Go ahead and figure that out, and I'll meet you back on the other side to see if we have matching answers. Okay, welcome back. Did you multiply your 8 gallons by 4 quarts? I hope so. 8 times 4, thank you, reflex math. 32 quarts and 8 gallons. All right, one more. You ready to try the next one? What if you had 11 gallons? Use multiplication to figure out how many quarts that would be. I'll meet you back on the other side. Okay, multiplication. Let's do it. 11 gallons times 4 quarts per gallon. Yep, absolutely. 44 quarts. Now, these are all reflex math facts. And this is just one more reason why we need to keep practicing our math facts, becoming super fluent and getting those green lights every day. All right, to wrap up today, our learning target was I can use traditional multiplication to convert larger units of measurement to smaller units. Okay, so if the unit you need to convert to is smaller than what you're starting with, right? You need inches, but you're starting with feet. You need a quart, you're starting with a gallon. You need an ounce, but you're starting with a pound. You always multiply by the number of the small unit in one of the bigger units. That makes sense? All right, let's practice.